In the vast landscapes of Australia and New Zealand, where endless fields meet a horizon painted with wind and light, a quiet revolution takes place, one that begins not in high-end boutiques, but in the fleece of a humble sheep. Merino wool, often described as nature's performance fabric, is far more than a simple fiber. It's the result of centuries of selective breeding, craftsmanship, and passion. Each strand carries within it a legacy of resilience, designed by nature and perfected by human ingenuity. What makes merino wool so unique? Its story is one of contrast, softness and strength, warmth and breathability, tradition and technology. Unlike ordinary wool, merino fibers are incredibly fine, often thinner than a human hair. This allows the material to regulate temperature naturally, keeping the body cool in summer and warm in winter. It's a textile that responds to the environment and to you. And yet, despite this sophistication, the process that brings it to life remains deeply rooted in ancient pastoral practices. Before a single thread reaches the loom, the journey begins with the sheep themselves. Each animal is treated with care, for the quality of its fleece depends entirely on its health, nutrition, and stress-free living conditions. Generations of farmers have refined the art of raising merino flocks, knowing that every subtle detail, from pasture composition to seasonal timing, shapes the outcome of the wool. It's an intimate relationship between human and animal, built on respect and precision. But few people realize the scale of dedication behind every luxurious fabric labeled merino. Behind the soft feel of a premium sweater or the tailored lines of an Italian suit lies a process as complex as any industrial innovation, one that merges biology, chemistry, and artistry. Every bale of wool carries the signature of its origin, a fingerprint of nature translated through human craftsmanship. If you're fascinated by the hidden world behind what you wear, this journey is just beginning. We're about to uncover how these remarkable sheep transform simple fleece into some of the most coveted fabrics in the world. Don't forget to comment below what you think about the merino wool process. Leave a like if you love learning about manufacturing secrets, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next steps of this incredible journey. Far from the noise of modern cities, merino sheep roam across sunlit plains and mist-covered hills. Their wool coats ripple in the breeze, a natural masterpiece that has evolved over hundreds of years. These animals are not ordinary sheep. They are the aristocrats of the ovine world, bred for excellence, endurance, and the production of the world's finest wool. Each strand of merino fleece tells a story of adaptation, shaped by the harsh conditions of the highlands, where only the strongest thrive. The merino breed traces its roots to Spain, where royal flocks were once guarded with secrecy. The export of these sheep was forbidden for centuries, as their wool became the pride of European nobility. Over time, however, the breed spread, first to Australia and New Zealand, where vast pastures and temperate climates offered the perfect environment for evolution. There, generations of shepherds refined the genetics of these animals, making their fleece even softer, finer, and purer than ever before. What makes merino wool so special lies within its microscopic structure. Each fiber is naturally elastic, breathable, and thermoregulating. It absorbs moisture without feeling wet, insulates even when damp, and resists odors naturally. No synthetic fiber can replicate this combination of comfort and performance. It's a material engineered by nature and perfected by time. Behind every bale of merino wool is a symbiotic partnership between humans and animals. Farmers devote their lives to ensuring the sheep live stress-free, with careful attention to diet, grazing rotations, and protection from harsh weather. The well-being of each animal directly affects the quality of its fleece, making care not just ethical, but essential for excellence. This is where luxury begins, not in design studios or fashion houses, but in the fields where nature's most refined fiber quietly grows. In the next part, we'll follow this extraordinary material as it leaves the meadow and enters the first critical stage of transformation, the precise and delicate process of shearing. As dawn breaks over the golden fields, the rhythmic hum of clippers echoes across the shearing sheds. It's here, in the heart of the merino wool industry, that the transformation begins. Shearing may look simple, but behind every smooth motion lies years of experience and a deep respect for the animal. The process is an art form, combining speed, precision, and gentleness in perfect harmony. Professional shearers move with practiced grace, guiding each sheep carefully to avoid stress, or injury. The goal is clear: to remove the fleece in a single, continuous piece, preserving the integrity of the fibers. This fleece blanket, as it's often called, represents months of growth and care. A skilled shearer can complete the process in just a few minutes, yet every motion must be deliberate. Too slow, and the sheep becomes anxious; too fast, and the wool may be damaged. It's a balance of efficiency and empathy that defines true craftsmanship. The temperature inside the shearing shed is carefully controlled. Dust, moisture, and static electricity are minimized, ensuring the fleece retains its purity. Once the wool is removed, it's gently spread out on large tables, allowing inspectors to observe its density, crimp, and color. Even at this stage, not all merino wool is equal. The finest fibers can fetch prices rivaling precious metals. Behind this meticulous routine lies an invisible principle: welfare first. Modern shearing practices prioritize animal comfort, with workers trained to handle each sheep calmly. Shearing is not just extraction, it's part of the animal's health cycle. By removing the fleece before the heat of summer, farmers ensure their flocks remain cool and free from parasites. The shearing season is brief but intense, a crucial bridge between nature and industry. Once complete, thousands of fleeces are packed and ready for the next critical stage: selection and grading, where the fate of each bundle will be decided. Only the finest will continue their journey toward becoming the luxurious fabrics that define merino's global reputation. Once the fleeces leave the shearing floor, they enter a world where every detail matters. In this phase, precision meets expertise: the selection and classification of merino wool. Inside vast sorting rooms, under bright, neutral lights, trained graders evaluate each fleece with a practiced eye. Their task is both scientific and artistic: to separate wool not just by appearance, but by touch, elasticity, and microscopic structure. Every fleece is analyzed according to several key characteristics. Fiber diameter, measured in microns, determines softness; crimp defines elasticity and texture; color and brightness reveal purity; and staple length influences strength and uniformity. The finest merino fibers, those under 17 microns, are rarer and destined for the most exclusive fabrics in the world, from luxury suits to high-performance garments worn by explorers and athletes alike. But classification goes beyond numbers. Each bale carries the signature of its origin, a traceable identity connecting it to a specific farm, flock, and season. This traceability is vital for both quality assurance and ethical sourcing. Buyers from top fashion houses often visit directly, inspecting samples before committing to purchase. For them, consistency and purity are priceless, and these decisions are made here, at the very heart of the wool industry. The sorting process is surprisingly tactile. Graders glide their fingers through the fibers, feeling for softness and spring, judging qualities that no machine can fully replicate. Decades of experience allow them to recognize excellence instantly, transforming subjective intuition into measurable value. What emerges from their hands is a hierarchy of potential: some fleeces destined for mass production, others for the world's finest tailoring workshops. The air in the classification rooms carries a quiet reverence. Workers know that within these piles of wool lies the future of garments that will one day walk the runways of Milan, Paris, and Tokyo. And as the bales are finally sealed and marked, their next destination awaits: the washing and purification phase, where raw beauty becomes refined perfection. What do you think about this part of the process? Comment below. We'd love to hear your opinion. From the sorting floor, the journey continues into one of the most critical and delicate stages: the purification of merino wool. Though it appears soft and clean after shearing, raw fleece contains natural oils, dust, and tiny vegetable particles accumulated during months in the field. Now begins the process of revealing its hidden purity and brilliance, a transformation that turns raw nature into refined luxury. The operation starts with scouring, a carefully engineered washing procedure that removes lanolin, the natural wax produced by the sheep's skin. Huge stainless steel tanks filled with warm water and mild biodegradable detergents gently cleanse the fibers. Temperature control is vital here. Too cold, and the lanolin won't dissolve. Too hot, and the delicate structure of the fiber can be damaged. It's a dance of chemistry and precision, designed to protect the wool's natural softness and elasticity. As the fleece passes through multiple washing stages, impurities separate from the fiber. The result is astonishing: The once dull and heavy material becomes lighter, brighter, and incredibly soft to the touch. The recovered lanolin isn't discarded. It's purified and used in cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and skincare products, ensuring that every element of the process finds a second life. This closed-loop system embodies the sustainable philosophy at the heart of the modern wool industry. After washing, the wool is rinsed, dried, and blended, ready for the next transformation. The color at this stage is an off-white cream, glowing subtly under light. Each fiber now reflects purity, the kind that only nature, science, and craftsmanship combined can achieve. The atmosphere in the factory is filled with a clean, earthy scent, a reminder that what we call luxury often begins with something as humble as nature itself. This stage marks the true awakening of merino wool, from raw fleece to a refined material ready for spinning. Yet the journey is far from over. What happens next will determine how this newly purified fiber gains strength, consistency, and texture through the precise mechanical elegance of carding and spinning. Now that the merino fibers have been purified, they're ready to enter a world where technology meets tradition, the intricate process of carding and spinning. This is the moment when the soft, weightless tufts of wool begin to acquire structure, turning from loose strands into the strong, continuous yarns that will one day become luxury fabrics. It's a stage that combines art, precision, and motion, where every turn of a machine echoes centuries of craftsmanship. The process begins with carding, a mechanical combing technique that aligns the individual fibers in parallel formation. Giant rollers covered in fine wire teeth rotate at controlled speeds, gently disentangling the fibers and removing any remaining impurities. As the wool passes through successive rollers, it transforms into a delicate web-like sheet, airy yet remarkably uniform. From this web, continuous strands called slivers emerge, ready for the next step. Spinning is where these slivers are twisted and drawn out into yarn. It's here that strength and elasticity are born. By controlling the twist angle and tension, technicians determine the final texture, whether it will be smooth and silky for fine suiting or slightly bulkier for warm knitwear. Modern spinning machines operate with extraordinary precision, yet the principles remain ancient: twist, tension, and flow. The goal is to create yarns that are both delicate and durable, a balance only merino fibers can truly achieve. Inside the spinning hall, the sound is hypnotic, hundreds of spindles whirring in synchronized rhythm. Each bobbin gradually fills with perfectly even threads, shimmering under the soft industrial light. This is the heart of transformation, where raw nature becomes engineered perfection. Once spun, the yarns are wound, cleaned, and tested. Experts evaluate consistency, tensile strength, and smoothness using advanced optical sensors. Every spool that passes inspection is labeled and stored, waiting to be woven into fabric. What was once fleece from a grazing sheep now carries the quiet power of potential, the promise of elegance, comfort, and endurance. But this metamorphosis doesn't end here. The next step will breathe design into structure, turning these delicate threads into luxurious textiles through the artistry of weaving and finishing, the stage where texture, color, and touch come to life. The sound of weaving looms fills the factory floor with a hypnotic rhythm, a mechanical symphony that marks the moment when yarns become fabric. This is where engineering meets artistry and precision transforms potential into tangible luxury. Each thread of merino yarn, fine and resilient, now takes its place in a complex dance of warp and weft. Together they form patterns invisible to the eye yet vital to the soul of the textile. In modern merino mills, looms operate with digital accuracy, capable of weaving hundreds of meters per day. But despite the speed, quality remains the unshakable law. Every loom is constantly monitored for tension, alignment, and thread behavior. A single broken strand can disrupt the entire composition, so skilled technicians intervene instantly, guided by both instinct and technology. The result is fabric so smooth it feels almost alive, a seamless blend of structure and softness. After weaving, the raw fabric undergoes finishing, a process designed to enhance its natural properties. This includes washing, steaming, pressing, and stretching, all done under strict temperature control. The goal is to preserve elasticity while enhancing texture and drape. Subtle treatments like fulling, a controlled felting process, tighten the weave, increasing density and warmth. Each stage is deliberate, a balance between mechanical precision and human judgment. Then comes the most enchanting part: inspection and touch testing. Experts glide their fingers over the surface, feeling for irregularities invisible even under magnification. They assess how the fabric falls, how it catches light, and how it reacts to movement. Only the pieces that pass this test will bear the label of premium merino, a name synonymous with comfort, durability, and understated sophistication. As the bolts of finished fabric are rolled and stacked, the story of their creation becomes clear. What began as fleece on the back of a mountain sheep has now evolved into a materials destined for haute couture ateliers, luxury brands, and performance apparel worldwide. Share your thoughts below. What surprised you most about how merino fabric comes to life? Even after weaving and finishing, the journey of merino wool is far from over. Before any fabric earns the right to be called premium, it must pass a series of rigorous quality control tests, the final guardians of perfection. In this stage, human expertise merges with cutting-edge technology to ensure that every meter of cloth meets the uncompromising standards of the global luxury market. Inside the quality control department, precision reigns. Fabrics are stretched across long inspection tables under calibrated lighting that reveals even the slightest irregularity. Specialists scan for imperfections invisible to most eyes: a faint discoloration, a minuscule tension line, or a microscopic fiber inconsistency. These inspectors are artisans in their own right, trained to detect flaws through both sight and touch, a skill developed over years of experience. Beyond visual inspection, the fabrics undergo mechanical and chemical testing. Machines measure tensile strength, elasticity, and resistance to pilling, while advanced sensors assess air permeability and thermal behavior. These metrics are crucial. Luxury isn't just about softness or shine, but about performance. A true merino fabric must retain its integrity after years of wear, maintain its structure through countless washes, and deliver comfort under the most demanding conditions. Color fastness tests simulate sunlight exposure and sweat, ensuring that pigments remain vivid over time. Moisture tests confirm that the fabric continues to breathe naturally, while surface evaluations verify the unique smoothness that distinguishes merino wool from any synthetic counterpart. Each test is not just a checkpoint, it's a promise of excellence. Only a small percentage of fabrics pass every requirement without correction. It rest are reprocessed or downgraded for lower-grade use. This meticulous scrutiny explains why authentic merino products command a higher price. They embody precision at every step. When the final approval is granted, each roll of fabric receives a certification of origin, quality, and traceability. This document links the material back to its source: the farm, the sheep, and the people who shaped its story. From here, the journey continues towards sustainability and ethical innovation, a chapter that reveals how the merino industry is reinventing itself for the future. In the world of luxury textiles, sustainability is no longer a choice. It's an expectation. The merino wool industry, once defined solely by craftsmanship and quality, is now leading a quiet revolution in ethical production and environmental responsibility. Every step of the process, from farm to finished fabric, is being reimagined to protect the planet, the animals, and the people behind this timeless material. On the farms, new generations of shepherds embrace regenerative agriculture, a system designed to restore soil health and biodiversity. Merino sheep graze in carefully managed rotations that prevent overgrazing and allow pastures to rejuvenate naturally. This approach captures carbon in the soil, helping to offset emissions and combat climate change. The wool, in turn, becomes part of a renewable and biodegradable cycle, nature's own blueprint for sustainability. Animal welfare stands at the heart of this transformation. Certified farms follow strict ethical standards that prohibit painful practices and ensure every sheep lives a healthy, stress-free life. The animals are treated as living assets, not commodities. Their care isn't just moral, it directly affects fiber quality, reinforcing the bond between compassion and excellence. Transparency initiatives now allow consumers to trace garments back to the very farm where the wool originated, closing the gap between product and producer. Factories, too, have evolved. Many have adopted closed-loop water systems, renewable energy sources, and chemical-free detergents for scouring. By reducing waste and emissions, these facilities prove that luxury and sustainability can coexist beautifully. The lanolin extracted during washing is reused, wastewater is purified, and even offcuts are recycled into insulation materials or felted accessories. Nothing is wasted. Everything has purpose. But perhaps the most powerful change is cultural. The new generation of designers and consumers seeks authenticity, materials that tell a story of responsibility, not exploitation. Merino wool embodies that ethos perfectly. It's renewable, natural, and long-lasting. Choosing merino isn't just a fashion statement, it's a declaration of respect for nature's craftsmanship. As the industry looks ahead, one question remains: how will these values continue to shape the evolution of luxury? To find out, we move to the final stage of this journey, where all threads, from tradition to innovation, come together. And so, the story comes full circle. What began in the quiet hillsides among flocks of gentle merino sheep has now traveled through science, art, and innovation, emerging as one of the most refined fabrics in the world. Merino wool stands as a testament to the balance between nature and craftsmanship, where every fiber tells a story of dedication, sustainability, and human ingenuity. In the luxury industry, few materials can rival merino's versatility. Its fibers, impossibly fine and soft, can be tailored into elegant suits, technical sportswear, or timeless knitwear, all sharing the same origin: a living, breathing animal raised with care. What gives merino its unparalleled reputation isn't just comfort or style, it's the philosophy behind it. Every stage, from shearing to spinning, weaving to finishing, reflects a commitment to purity and precision that has been perfected over centuries. Luxury, in this context, is no longer about excess. It's about authentic value. The value of transparency, where traceable supply chains connect consumers to ethical farms. The value of sustainability, where renewable resources replace synthetics. And the value of durability, where garments last for years, not seasons. True luxury isn't disposable. It's meaningful, responsible, and deeply human. As finished fabrics leave the factory, destined for ateliers and designers across the cosmic world, they carry the silent legacy of thousands of hands and hearts. Each roll of merino cloth holds a story, one that begins with the earth, the sheep, and the enduring spirit of craftsmanship. This journey reveals something greater than fashion itself. It shows how tradition, innovation, and ethics can coexist to redefine what we wear and why it matters. If you've enjoyed discovering how merino wool transforms from nature to luxury, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with the phrase, "From nature to elegance." And make sure to watch our next episode, where we'll explore another fascinating world of animal-based craftsmanship.